After the special editions ruined Star Wars, the prequels ruined Star Wars, the sequels ruined Star Wars, the shows ruined Star Wars, and Andor ruined Star Wars by setting the bar too high. A series will finally ruin Star Wars once and for all. Until the next release ruins Star Wars. The Acolyte. Let the hate flow through you, because it's time to talk Star Wars.
I have a bad feeling about this.
The franchise that's been in the right wing's crosshairs ever since Last Jedi. And even though The Acolyte has all the standard cameo bait, Disney keeps forcing in woke ideas like girls exist and sometimes they're good at things.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I got scared. I dropped my hot pocket.
I'm drinking rum.
It's rum and nerdy.
I'm drinking rum.
The time has come.
I'm drinking rum.
So grab a glass, some ice, your bottle, cause we're about to drink some rum.
Kicking like I usually do, drinking.
I'm drinking rum.
Here's Greg and Garrick.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Rum and Nerdy. I'm Greg.
And I'm Garrick.
And this is episode 5.02, Rented Golf Cart.
502. That's also a really great Chevy crate motor.
Yeah, I thought the 502 was a Ford engine.
No. Nope.
No, that's 5 liter.
Yep.
5.0.
Yep.
502 is with the 305?
What? 502 cubic inches. It's like a stroked out 454.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We're in the world of cars. I nerd at a very high car level.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think. It's like liters versus cubic inches versus
I believe it's
quads per joule.
I believe it's like 8.2 liters, 8.3 liters.
That's big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Because the Cadillac 500 was 8.2 liters, and it made 198 horsepower.
Ooh.
Thanks, mid-70s American automakers.
Is that a lot of
No,
horses, powers?
it's not.
I know.
Your average, your base model Toyota Camry would absolutely take it to the Gap and teach it to fold clothes.
Okay, whatever that means. Okay, so explain the rented golf cart reference.
Rented golf cart. So we were at New Smyrna Beach, and we rented a golf cart.
Yeah,
for just cruising around on New Smyrna Beach.
Words
Beach,
are hard,
as one
so.
does. It's a good thing I'm here to talk.
It's literally the one thing we're supposed to do here.
It's going to be a long night.
Yeah. We're actually recording at night. Anyway, we're in New Smyrna Beach, recorded a thing, rented a thing.
Rented a thing and driving around. It was a lot of fun. If you're ever in the New Smyrna Beach area. One, it's the beach in Central Florida where you can drive on it.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Florida. I'm assuming a lot of them you can drive on, but this one is known for driving on the beach because there's nothing more American than backing your car up to the ocean to unload all of your towels and
it's also
shenanigans.
A lot of people get stuck out there because they're fucking idiots, but
It's a lot of fun.
yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It is. Sugar sand, buddy. Good luck with that.
Yeah, and a lot of people go to the beach and they have their off-roading like mud tires. Big mud tires. And mud tires, they're big knobs on it, like your rock crawler, blah, blah. That is not what you drive in sand at all. Like, those tires are terrible in the sand.
Yeah.
They're worse than street tires. Sand, if you ever see sand tires, they almost look like racing slicks. They're really smooth, really flat.
Yeah,
not a lot of nubs.
You want traction, the knobs only dig.
The knobs dig, yeah. So instead of propelling you forward, they dig you down, and then you get stuck in the sand, and you have to have some nice lifeguard with a truck with good tires pull you out.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
For me. Anyway, so yeah, we did that. Gotta say, too, like, we hit a bar. Speaking of bar, why don't we have a drink yet?
Yeah.
We should do a thing.
Let me make a drink.
Yeah.
This is actually a special concoction. This is in honor of our amazing bartender. We are making a drink. Not an amazing drink, just a drink.
No. What was his name, too? It was like Chris or
Brandon.
I don't know. Chuck wanted to hire him.
Tom, yeah.
Great mixologist. Actually, there were several of them. And they were all awesome.
There were several of them. They were all awesome, but oh my gosh.
Did I tell you that last one, that last main one, grabbed me on the way out to thank me in our group? They're like,
No.
Thank you in the group. You guys were so much fun. Like, we really appreciate you guys were here tonight. Because we were like really nerding out on the drinks that they were making. And
Yeah.
I don't think that New Smyrna
I know,
Beach,
isn't it?
It's
like
a bit of a tongue twister.
Just the name New Smyrna Beach. It's like you get halfway through Smyrna and then your mouth just gives up, but that's the way it's supposed to be pronounced.
Yeah, it's talking in cursive.
SMYRNA. What? Who? That's a shit word.
Yeah, Smyrna.
Smyrna.
Yeah.
New Smyrna Beach.
Anyway, I don't think
It sounds
that
like something.
town
It sounds like a vestigial organ that gets inflamed and you have to have removed every now and then.
Yeah.
What happened to you? Oh, I had to have my New Smyrna taken out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a thing that's served on German sandwiches.
So what are we drinking here?
This is the Old Smokey Distillery Amaretto whiskey.
And
And a little bit of Sprite. Should be pretty solid.
yeah, this is basically a whiskey amaretto sour.
Yeah, kind of. Not sour. It's not. It's
Well, minus the sour.
yeah. It's
Well, I used to drink amaretto sours all the time, and it was basically just this shit. And so this is more like an Shirley Temple. What's a hard Shirley Temple? What's that called?
I don't know. Shirley Forehead. I don't know. Can't name them all.
There's got to be a real name for a hard Shirley Temple.
Golly.
It's like Sherman Temple.
Like a Sherman tank. World War II. This is our tank. It's a good tank. Anyway, moving on. So I don't think that it's a mixology kind of town. I think it's
Oh yeah.
I think it's people are drinking, Captain and Coke.
It's a beach bum town.
Yeah.
They got what's your Beardley Mick IPA on tap and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from the owner. Flagler Tavern has been a must-visit destination for locals and beachgoers and music lovers for decades. Oh, what? You want your drink?
Please.
I was in the middle of reading a thing. I was looking for your swizzle stick, but I don't know if that made it back from the wash. Oh, it did make it back from the wash.
Swizzled.
Thanks, Martin Aquatic. This swizzle stick is brought to you by Martin Aquatic.
Closest thing to a sponsor we have outside of DemoDayPro.com. And we have ETC. And
We have a lot.
we've got friends.
We
who
have a
sponsors.
lot of high-end sponsors.
Yeah.
This week, Martin Aquatic is
graciously provided us our stirring utensil. Anyway, so the bar.
No, hold on.
really
I was reading the fucking
You
thing.
were.
Okay,
I
here we
interrupted.
go.
I wanted my drink.
Flagler Tavern has been a must-visit destination for locals, beachgoers, and music lovers for decades. Nestled amongst picturesque Flagler Avenue, it was quite nice, in New Smyrna Beach, Flagler Tavern offers fantastic food, cocktails, and, love music. I'm assuming that's a typo. In a legendary atmosphere. Yeah, the atmosphere was outstanding.
It was.
Apparently, there's a little plaque on the wall that Ernest Hemingway broke someone's arm there.
Yeah. While arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling, yeah. Yeah, it's not like he just went up to him and was like, fuck you! It wasn't that. It was...
Come here.
There was...
Take your forearm over my knee.
Yeah, there was apparently some more... I don't know what it was, honor involved with the exchange.
Yeah. Anyway, really cool place. There's a couple other plaques. I couldn't tell you what they say, but that one I took a picture of and sent you.
That's
'Cause I was drinking in
you were
Hemingway Daiquiri.
sitting next to it, yeah. And let me just say, the Sherman Temple is pretty nice.
It is.
I'm
Very
digging
nice. Nice and smooth. Anyway, so we did that.
Really
we had some
smooth.
drinks last week. Had some meetings. It was a really good week. We were going to record having some on-the-road difficulties again. I think we figured it out. We got to buy a part. So
Yeah.
we're dialing that in so that, I don't know, I just didn't want to produce crap for you guys and
Yeah.
force it. So we just said, screw it, we'll come back. do a good one this week. So here we are.
Unplanned.
A little bit of plan. So, like, what are we gonna like? Obviously, we got to talk about football. What a fucking weekend this was! Jesus.
Oh, thanks NFC North.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just that. It's like even with the Chiefs. Like, okay, I'll admit there was a couple calls that probably didn't need to be called. That said, Troy Aikman as a fucking announcer needs to keep his fucking mouth shut, mumbling shit. I don't know if you heard about that.
I didn't hear about that at all.
Oh yeah, they were like coming in or into. They were going into break or out of break or something like that. He didn't realize his mic was hot, and they were doing a replay of a thing, and he's just like, "Oh, come on!" Like he was like not even trying to hide it, and but
He's
I
human
apparently
too.
yeah, but apparently he's done a couple posts where he's like Mahomes, who like when he's got even a third of my stats. Come and talk to me or something like that.
How many rings does Troy have?
Well, apparently it's the overall stat, and I couldn't tell you, but the overall stats, it's like, yeah, he was a third of your stats like in year 3, so congratulations, but I don't think it was really that. Anyway, but a lot of frustration with the Chiefs. A lot of people, complaining, oh, well, we're playing, the refs, and so apparently 2 of the Houston team after the game had said in their interview, we knew we were coming here to play against the referees and not the Chiefs. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like, hey, does anybody want to point out the fact that you missed a field goal from 27 yards?
Mm-hmm.
Then you missed an extra point. You had I want to say there were 2 interceptions, and he was sacked 8 times. And, it's like, oh, yeah, like, let's not, like, point out the fact that you played like shit, because did the ref, like, block the field? Oh, yeah, and they had a block field goal attempt as well. Leo Chanel. The same guy that did it to Denver at the beginning of the season or mid-season, but it's like you can't suck on special teams that bad and go to the Super Bowl. It's just not going to happen.
No, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. Anyway, so that all happened. Some interesting facts, though. The Chiefs, if you look at their stats, actually, specifically the point differential since 2018. Chiefs are the 7th worst in penalty yard differential since 2018 in fourth quarter of games decided by 1 score. 7th worst. They get penalized consistently and more. And then everybody's like, oh yeah, if you come anywhere near Mahomes, they're going to throw a flag for roughing the passer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not even first on that. He's like 4th or 5th. You know who's first? Josh Allen. So I don't know. Everybody wants to hate on them. They're a good team. They know how to win.
Yeah, I don't. It's been a lot of. I mean, other than my team getting kicked out, it's been fun.
Yeah. Well, and then, like Detroit kind of.
Oh God, Detroit
shat the bed.
Washington walked all over them.
Yeah,
and
there was a couple times you're like, oh, they're coming. No, they're not.
No, they're not. No. They're not going to do it. And Vikings lost too. And Packers were knocked out in the wild card round. It was a lot of fun, kind of watching. The NFC North, which was just this monster division all year, and then gets to the playoffs and.
Well, and even with the Vikings, like we thought the Vikings had it going in, and there was a couple times where they showed signs of life, but again, it was one of those things like you can't. Lamar Jackson didn't have a great day. He made a few mistakes. Their special teams made some mistakes, and it came down to hey, they have an opportunity to tie it up, and like I and even the announcers were like, "That's a catch you make 99 times out of 100." Wide open, running right to the post in the corner for that and grabbed the ball falling backwards into the end zone.
Yeah.
Never got control of it and lost it. And they could have gone in overtime. But it's like lots of little mistakes like that. Just really surprised to see.
Yeah. So we have Washington Commanders versus the Eagles and Chiefs and the Bills. I'm looking forward to both of those games.
Who do you got in the NFC game? Who do you think?
I'm gonna back the Eagles. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably.
We lost to them twice, and they were just brutal both times. And it's like, you know what? I want the team that knocked me out of the playoffs. I want them to go. Go to the Super Bowl. And obviously I'm going to support Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Oh, spoiler alert! I'm taking Kansas City over Buffalo.
It's going to be a hard game, but
it's absolutely going to be a hard game. But
I think at the end of the day,
but apparently the script had leaked earlier this year.
Yeah, no,
so
actually, and I accidentally set it down after I wrote it. I set it down at a Starbucks.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
but it was a Starbucks in Dallas, and I didn't think anybody there cared about football anymore.
or could read.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, so I think that's going to be hard. The Chiefs are going to have a hard time. They're going to have to win it. They can't screw up. But likewise, I think Josh Allen can't make a lot of mistakes. At the end of the day, Chiefs are firing. Their defense is largely firing on all cylinders. Karlaftis and Jones are just on fire. The kingdom, or what do they call it? Not the kingdom of sacks, but it's
the kingdom of sacks.
It's not that. It's something else. They call them.
I think there was an Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode.
Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, I'll have to look it up. But they're going to go after Allen. I think Kansas City, they're with Spagnuolo, their pressures are higher than any, like their pressures are like all-time high, over like 56%. It's insane. They're, and they mix it up. They bounce around so much you can't predict what they're going to do. Spagnuolo is on fire. And so I think that's going to be tough for Josh to play against a defense that's that dynamic. But he's going to have to run some, and I think passing is going to be hard for him. But I think he's going to have to run, and ultimately, when you see like Bills have done great all year, really high scoring games, but those high scoring games have been shootouts, and I don't see that the Bills have that great of a defense if they're playing teams that are scoring that much on them. Kansas City, for a good part, I don't know what their final stat was in regular season. They like hadn't allowed more than, like, their average was like 21 points a game.
Yeah.
But 2/3 of the way through the season was 17. Before they played the Bills, it was like 17 points per game. So they don't allow a lot of points, and that's what you got to do is shut down points and shut down drives. And
defense is what wins Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Sorry to say.
So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I feel you on Eagles. Yeah, I think it's going to be Eagles and the Chiefs. And
you still have the green and red Super Bowl colors for that conspiracy theory to hold up.
Totally makes sense.
I mean, the yellow snuck in there, so I can see why people think it was Green Bay and
yeah.
And you know what? Anyway. And you know what? Just because I'm looking for an Eagles Kansas City Super Bowl, it's going to end up being Washington and the Bills, and I might skip it.
Yeah, yeah. If that happens, the season's over.
What are you doing for the Super Bowl? I don't know. Sit in a hot tub and read comics. I got nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna go watch a movie marathon at AMC. There's literally nothing on that Sunday.
Something going on this weekend. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a fun random fucking out of nowhere random thing for you.
Do it.
Are you familiar with the German ride manufacturer Zier?
Yes.
Zierer?
Yes.
Zier?
Zier.
Yeah. Do you know the full name of their company? Zier is the short name. Zier is what we use when we or walking on the IAPA show floor being like, "Brr, brr, brr, let's go talk to Zir."
Yeah, I think it's Zir. Come look over here. They're making some really cool shit.
Okay, it's longer than that.
Yes. I don't know it. Go ahead.
It's literally like Zir, Cruz, Russell, und Spezial Manchester Boeing Gabak and Company. Like,
GmbH.
yeah, it's like what? What? Just make it Zir all the time.
That was really random, but cool.
Yeah, ZIERERKRUSSELL-UNDSPEZIAL-MASCZ.
Tune in next week for part 2 of
German.
this company's
It just
name.
keeps fucking going. It's comically long.
Yeah.
How can there be 3 U's in their name?
I don't know. That's a lot of consonants.
There's also a KG at the end, but I don't know if it counts.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, they know, but who knows?
I mean, they do they know?
Yeah. It's like every time we hire a person, we put that person's initial at the end of the name.
Yeah, basically. All they need is like an and sons
And associates.
and associates.
Yes.
Esquire.
Yes. And what do you do there? I'm the managing director of the Department of Redundancy Department and Quality Control Inspection Logistics Manager.
Thanks, Steve. You were telling me about a new video game you were playing.
Or
we're going to play.
Well, we were going
thinking about
It's
playing.
that, something reformer.
Reforma.
Arma reforma.
Arma Reforma.
Reformer. Yeah. We got it. We're still going to play it, but it's kind of interesting because I thought, didn't we talk about this last week or the week before? Maybe we didn't. I don't know.
Talked about it at dinner.
Oh. Well, the short of it is, and I suck at short stories, but the short of it is the...
Well, we're only at 22 minutes, and
yeah,
we've
got
mostly
time to
talked
kill.
about football and German words. So.
Yeah. And this drink, which is lovely.
This drink is delicious.
It is. Anyway,
I'm also sending a note to Kat
so it
asking
was...
her to say that fucking word for me.
Yeah. Can you record it and send it
Yes, I'm 1,000% going to do that. I'll play it
into the microphone?
WhatsApp voice memo, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So it was originally like a plug-in for another game that turned into its own game, and this is kind of like the relaunch of it years later. A little bit better graphics. I mean, it's not the best graphics, but it's kind of interesting. The game, basically every time you go in and play a mission, you go in the same. You don't build up your character, any of that kind of stuff. You spawn in an area that'll have a couple guns. You grab them, and then as you go run missions, you slowly, like, as you know, it's like John Wick walks in with a pistol and walks out with like 30 guns. And
So it's a John Wick movie.
kind of like that's the job, is to walk it, like have one or two people walk into a room with 300 and kill them all.
Except he's walking into a room with a Chinese star and some dental floss, and he's leaving with 300 guns.
Yeah, kind of like that. Anyway, so it's super great. It was fun. But it's more like a filler. It's not like we're just finishing up with that Dead Island 2 and all the DLCs and everything else. So that's done. But what we're actually going to do is we're going back to Red Dead Redemption 2. Did you play that at all?
I did not. It looked really good, though. It was like a kind of an open world GTA.
It's made by the same
Me and my
Rockstar
horse.
Games.
Yeah,
makes it,
Rockstar. Yeah. That's why it's an open world. It's like a Grand Theft Horse.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, absolutely.
But GTH didn't sound all that great.
No. It's great. Good, sizable map, and playable area, and it's one of those things where, like, you know, you can walk up and punch NPCs and then they panic, or you can rob people, or you can, you know, it's pretty much like a do whatever you want to do kind of game, which is great. The story mode, good story. The Arthur, I forgot the Arthur something. Is the character, but then you can play in just free roam open world co-op, and that's what we're playing in now. And they do a lot of like different missions and things that you can do in that to play in that space with friends and make your little camp. But it's funny. So Video Game Brian, our buddy Brian, firefighter Brian.
Yep.
He and I are the ones that play a lot of these games, and we were trying to remember, because first off, the controls are fucked compared to like when you play everything else and you go back to that game. I was sitting there when I first spawned in trying to figure out everything, and I was like, I'm trying to climb on the horse. I'm on the side of the horse, and you would hit triangle, but I hit something else and punched the horse. And then the horse ran off, and I had to chase it and pet it and calm it down and shit. That's one thing about GTA. It's like you punch a car, it doesn't care. You just get in it and drive it until the wheels fall off, and then you just steal another car. This isn't really like that. But it is fun.
Can you punch a horse? Punch a horse, watch it take away?
That's what I just said. I was trying to get on, and I hit the wrong button. It was push,
bam, and just hit it.
Just punched him, and he was like, and ran off. So it was. Then I had to calm him down. I had to give him an apple and brush him.
You couldn't just like run up to some other passerby and steal the next horse?
It's not like that, because your horse has got crap on it, and you customize it, and you can whistle, and the horse comes. So it's not, if you just whistle, it's like you don't just get a random horse. But anyway, started to figure that out. It was funny. So Brian was playing, but he had mentioned that he had bronchitis or something. He's on medicine for the bronchitis.
Okay.
And as we're sitting there playing, and it's really kind of a peaceful, because a game. A lot of it is you just walk around and do fun stuff and weird. He says, "Oh, you got it." So he says, "Wouldn't it be great to kind of live in this time, and this like just out in the West, and you and your buddies out on horses camping and doing like hunting and I was like literally, Brian, you've got bronchitis. If you had bronchitis back then, you'd probably die from it. In fact, in story mode, your character Arthur dies of tuberculosis. It wasn't a pleasant time to live."
No, I really like NyQuil.
Yeah.
Could you imagine living in the wild, wild West without the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing stuff? You had achy fever so you could rest medicine?
Right. So you got a thing?
Oh, yeah. So Kat, God bless her, absolutely.
She hasn't been on in a while.
It hasn't been a while, but she pronounced Zir's full name for us, and I'm trying to figure out put my phone on speakerphone. How does this work?
I don't know. It's an Android. It's however you put it on speakerphone, it's just like Apple, only dumber.
You know what? I wish you weren't wrong, but oh, fuck, no, that's not what I wanted to do.
No, you're not supposed to admit that. You're supposed to argue with me about it.
Oh, I am supposed to argue with it?
Yeah, because you're the Android. We're supposed to have an Android-Apple argument soon.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Where I have to defend my...
Oh, yeah. By the way, how about this? This is your last call for Ask Rum and Nerdy. And if you've already submitted, don't submit it more. This is for people who have not submitted Ask Rum and Nerdy. Please, please, please. We need like one or two more. That sounded like an AI thing.
Oh, hey, look that. I accidentally in WhatsApp increased the speed by 1.5 times. Hold on, here it is.
Zierer Karussell und Spezialmaschinenbau GmbH und Co. KG.
Thank you, Kat.
Yeah, those were words, apparently. Oh my
Jeez,
gosh.
that's a long name.
That's a plug, yeah.
I think I dated her.
That's a lot of word.
I called her Sue.
Sue?
I made that all
not
up.
Just Zir for short.
I've dated like 4 women ever in my whole life.
Man.
And the one I'm dating now, my wife, was the first person I ever dated, so that's weird.
She wasn't?
She was.
Yeah. Oh, so you went full circle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
You know when you meet somebody, you go like, "You were my first love and you'll be my last," and then you break up and like, "I was wrong." Well, it turns out I was right.
I'm going to marry you. Eventually.
Yeah. Take a breath. I got to go off and have this other 12-year relationship with kids, and then I'll come back to you.
A relationship that had kids, not a relationship with kids. It's totally different.
Oh, jeez. Jeez.
You went there. I just heard it weird. I heard it weird.
You heard it broken. That was fucked up, man. Anyway.
You said it.
So, next topic. Skeleton Crew. We've done with it. We've gone through the whole eight episodes.
It happened. It's a whole thing.
Glorious fucking episodes.
It was. It never let me down. Like the pacing was always strong. It always had that sense of adventure. There were moments in it where just randomly you're watching it, you're like, oh, E.T. or oh, the Goonies or oh, whatever, and just it had this beautiful cadence of like an 80s childhood adventure movie.
Yeah. So, without going through every episode, I'm going to go through just for talking points, and then we'll talk about our favorite ones for the whole season.
Oh, spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah, not going to play it, but
hashtag cool spoiler alert song. Yeah. Insert spoiler alert song here. Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Okay, we did it. Everybody's warned. You're warned. You've been warned. Anyway, the supervisor's tower in the finale.
Yeah.
Was it was a mirror to Palpatine's throne room.
Nice.
The tower. I don't know if you noticed that.
It looked like Palpatine's tower. I don't know if I'd necessarily call it.
It looked a whole lot like. Anyway,
it looked like it.
The supervisor,
Hell 9000. Yeah, absolutely. Reminiscent of it, absolutely.
Yeah. It's funny because and it's so hard to remember his name because he used like 300 of them. But the Jude Law character, he shows up and is like, yes, I'm a delegate from the blah, blah, blah. And I'm
the
Jedi.
Emissary. Oh, the emissary.
Oh, yeah. And I'm a Jedi, blah, 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 blah. And he thinks he's got everybody snowed and everything. And he goes up to the supervisor, which again is a supercomputer, which also, by the way, deep thought.
Yeah.
From Hitchhikers. Anyway, he goes up there and at one point, the kid, I forgot which one of the kids it was.
One of the kids.
One of the kids was like, he's not really a Jedi or like whatever. And it's like, haha, shut up. And the computer's like, oh no, that's fine. It's like, so I'm curious, is it you're the emissary or you're a Jedi? Because one of those two, you're lying.
Well, no, the computer's like, yeah. So the last message I received from the Republic was that the Jedi were all traitors and were to all be destroyed.
Yeah.
So you're not an emissary or you're not a Jedi. Which one are you lying about?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, damn.
Yeah, it's like, oh snap, hey, I got him. Anyway, it was fantastic, and then the fit hit the shan, so it was great.
The fit hit the shan.
Yeah. Okay, so other little things. Jode killing the supervisor was like when Qui-Gon stuck the lightsaber into the blast doors. All security droids deactivated, just like in Phantom Menace. You kill the main thing and they all shut off.
Yeah, which I was a little disappointed by them killing the main thing by shooting the lightsaber through the face.
Yeah.
That's like breaking your computer by me smashing your monitor.
Yeah.
Literally all of the droids turning off because he put a lightsaber through the glowy thing. It's like me killing the Wi-Fi in your house by punching your computer monitor really hard.
Kind of, yeah.
Anyway.
At the very least, it's like you stabbing or poking me in the eye and my kid's shutting down.
That's a minor complaint on my end about movie physics.
Yeah. Okay. Once the fit hits the shan, as I said previously, and then everybody's running, the scene, like all of a sudden, all of the kids get on their hover bikes and they go and they jump into the like that's E.T.
Yeah, absolutely E.T.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you noticed. So, it was the kid was Wim, right? So Wim's with his dad because he's like, Dad, the robot shut off. I can tell you the truth, whatever. And it's like, oh, so they're trying to figure it out. They're out trying to get his little
car
skiff thing.
Yeah.
You notice that skiff looked a whole lot like the ride vehicle for Rise of the Resistance.
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not notice that ride vehicle looked like the skiff looked like the ride vehicle from Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find a picture here in a minute. But we'll finish going through this.
Yeah.
So that was like totally the pirate skiffs looked a whole lot like Jabba's.
Yeah, but that's just art direction. Skiffs look like skiffs in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, skiff's a skiff. Anyway, the line "You're no Jedi," and so that mirrors the I'm trying to remember. There was a couple places where like "You're no Jedi."
Jabba the Hutt said it to Luke.
Yeah, and then Ahsoka says, "I'm not a Jedi," or "I'm no Jedi."
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then of course, as we said, Jode's Order 66 mistake, and then of course, like Wim at the end when he lights up the lightsaber was like some serious Finn energy.
Yeah.
There. So that was like one of my favorites. B-wings attacking the targeting lasers.
Yeah, B-wings.
Yeah.
Some of these are like, why it's. Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. The I like got goosebumps when the Corellian Corvette showed up.
It's one of my favorite ships.
Absolutely. And
the final storyboard page.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that because those were when he was reading his comic books at night. That was the style in which the comics were being
telling
displayed.
their story.
Yeah. No, that's super cool.
So overall, what were some of your favorite from the entire season? Like little moments and
favorite little moments from the entire season. So the cliffhanger was 8 episodes. So the cliffhanger on episode 7, with all the families being there, and just all you see is lightsaber turns on as he approaches the family, and like that chills. And then cut to credits. You're like, God damn it! Got to wait another week. Like that was one of my favorite cliffhangers of the entire series.
yeah.
The spa, finding the pirate, the whole traveling, or the concept of this secret pirate hideout where they stash all the loot, and it's a cave with booby traps and blah blah blah, and oh look, they built a spa on top of it, and now we have to check into a hotel and book a spa day to get down to the pirate horde. Like I thought that was hilarious. And it feels like something that would absolutely happen in real life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is where this pirate has hidden all of this loot and treasure, but now it's a sandals.
Yes.
We rent metal detectors over here, which you can do at New Smyrna Beach.
I totally blacked out.
Yeah, wow.
Well, I was trying to look up some other information.
Like, have you ever seen another human being do that record scratch thing? Like, your brain just did that.
Well, I'm trying to do like...
Were you looking up the ride vehicle thing? What were you looking at?
Yeah, I was trying to look that up. But anyway, I'll find it later. Eventually.
Anyway, it was really good. Start to finish, that entire series just had really big energy, really big heart. It wasn't throwing stuff in your face as far as, references and things where, oh yeah, you didn't watch, 200 hours of a cartoon, you're never going to understand what's going on. Like, you could just go into this cold. It was a beautiful, like, standalone story.
Yeah, it certainly it really was a good mix of not taking itself too seriously and having a crap ton of fun. Right?
Yeah, which is everything that you want from, E.T. or the Goonies, movies like that. I mean, it was everything in the 80s was a little risky, but from a kids movie standpoint, there's a lot of shit that happens in 80s kids movies where you're like, I don't know if we should be watching this, but it's fine.
Well,
anyway,
it was great, good energy.
What was your favorite moment? The whole show. Since you gave that one to me, I'm going to throw it back at you.
I would say that overall last action sequence where the kids jump into action. I think it shows just so much growth of all of them as people. They're
Where all the parents are like, let's wait to see what the supervisor says to do. And
Yeah.
the kids are like,
no, we're
nothing's working, we're leaving. Yeah.
Yeah, like Wim's dad's working on like trying to get his little skiff thing going, and he's like, like grab the hover bike, we're going. Okay, cool. And then the dad following along, and it's everything they go through. They go to the ship, and then they run up into the ship. They've been separated. The little the kid with the elephant kid, I forgot his name.
The elephant kid.
You know what I'm saying? He's got the anteater aardvark
Yeah.
elephant kid. Anyway, so he gets separated, but he's like, I'm going to work on a distraction, and it's just like rapid fire. These kids are communicating, and they're in action hero mode. Like they've gone through these things, and it's like, okay, the confidence that they've developed, the communication, the friendship, the camaraderie, all those things rolled up. And he goes up into the turbo lasers and he starts firing. That saves the other ship to get out to the atmosphere. At the same time, when they go in and like, you know how to fly this? And she goes, yeah. And she runs in and hits the button, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, we've got to release well, to do that, we got to get the power back. And then it was like, cool, we're on So all of those things, that sequence of those kids, whether it was up in the supervisor's chamber, all of that together, it's like all of these things that these kids have gone through where they've by and large, they've been very scared and broken. It got to that moment where they don't think heroes step up. And I loved that message because I think that's Goonies. That's that 1980s kids action adventure thing. It's all of that uncertainty, and you kind of roll it up into that one moment where it really counts and everybody just jumps in action. And that sequence to me was great.
Yeah, that's no, I couldn't agree more. I mean, one of the things that I was thinking of, again, it was when they were on the planet with the day spa, the little crab guys, and they're like, oh yeah, follow, take us back, and they were just leading him into the grips of a larger crab thing.
Yeah.
I think that was done by Tippett Studio.
The crabs?
Yeah, the crab. Yeah, the big giant crab thing was animated by our friends over at Tippett.
So speaking of that scene, when that harvester machine thing, whatever, grabs onto the end of the ship, and they're like, hit the button, and they hit the button, and all of the charges go off, and the pristine, cool-looking ship pulls out of like that moment.
That was also another one of those moments.
Yeah, and you're like, holy crap. It's just those pivotal moments in those kids' personalities and how they
hit the button, what that makes the hull explode. Yeah, and it.
Yeah, and it's cool. I mean, way cooler looking ship. Very much looked like one of those Naboo ships, kind of like as smooth and shiny, but general shape.
But it looked like a Republic ship from Coruscant, all shiny and smooth and clean. Like it was. And what Disney's doing with the franchise when it comes to art direction, they're so good at capturing the look and the feel of the time period, the planet, the culture. Like, oh, is it this type of ship? Is it that type of ship? Is it Carillion? Is it Naboo? Like, they freaking nail it every time.
Yes.
Yes, as he feverishly pounds something into the keyboard.
Well, and it's because there's something else just to move on to. Yeah. I think we kind of covered the show.
I think we covered it.
Definitely. Go back and see it.
Without kissing too much of its ass. It really is everything that we said it was.
Yeah.
It absolutely... Watch it. If you're not watching it, we're sorry because we just spoiled the whole thing for you. But still worth it. And Jude Law was great. I can't tell you the last time I saw Jude Law in something. And it was great.
I got to say this, though.
Yeah.
Sequel? No sequel?
To Skeleton Crew?
Yeah. I don't know that they've made an announcement.
It does not need one. It doesn't need one at all.
Yeah.
And I think if they made a sequel to it, they wouldn't be able to capture the E.T. Goonies magic of this one. They wouldn't be able to do it.
I mean, or at least at the very least, it would be difficult.
There's plenty more story to tell. There is.
I would love to see these kids again.
I would absolutely love to see these kids again as well. But I think it'd be really hard to put. I mean, I say that they're probably going to write a sequel to it, and it's going to be great. The other thing you could do is you could see like a Jude Law spinoff kind of thing for his pirate character.
Yeah.
You could get more of like his pirate adventures, his backstory, what happens to him after this. You know what they did with Loki.
Yeah,
from Marvel. You could kind of do a whole Loki redemption style thing with Jude Law. I don't know. Places to go.
So,
the places I hope they go without the fans shitting on them and canceling season 2.
Oh my God. Don't ruin this for me. You've been warned. Okay, so here's my article, right? This is as of in the last 4 or 5 days, breaking news.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, straight from the Rum and Nerdy news desk. I am excited.
Of a week ago.
Yes, of a week ago. Here is an article. The title of the article is, I'm excited about Gremlins 3 and the Goonies 2, but there's one specific worry I have about the return. So this article, along with other
are they
breaking news? Yes.
Are they actually making a Goonies 2?
They're actually making a Goonies 2. They're in development.
Like the Sons of Goonies or something?
They have not clarified whether either of these, whether it's Goonies or Gremlins, are going to be a reboot or if they're a continuation. They have not confirmed yet.
Well, Gremlins 3 feels like a continuation.
Well, and here's the thing. Chris Columbus, it was like one of the first things Chris Columbus ever did. He wrote the original screenplay for Goonies.
Oh, yeah.
Or for Gremlins.
Big difference.
Yeah. He's the one that's writing the script for 3.
No shit.
Yeah. From what I understand. That's what I heard last week.
Well, so that feels like not a reboot.
It probably.
Goonies, I feel like it could be a reboot as long as they made the kids not suck.
Correct.
Like, could you imagine just it's almost like they're sitting in their homes like playing video games together, and then we're just watching them together in an open world video game.
So here's the thing.
It's like the Matrix, but lame.
It's the debate. So our generation, we were the Goonies. Like you and I, when we were kids, we were the Goonies. That's our adventure. The thing is if you reboot it, or even if you continuation, one thing that you've got to be very, very careful of, you're either going to half-ass it and you're going to make it good for us or good for today's kids, or you're going to really put some time in and you're going to nail it and make it good for both. It's got it for it to really be amazing piece of storytelling. It's got to pay homage and make us love it as much as we love the first one.
Yeah, but I think, I'm holding up, you make it for them, you make it for us, and you could come together high and make it good for both, but it's really easy, and what most usually happens is it goes low and it's bad for both.
Yeah.
Where they just miss the mark, because you can't, culturally, you can't just take the original script and
refilm
it today. No, they're absolutely totally different.
Getting the kids right, it's like you find a character and you're like, cool, this character is that, but it's today's version of that. Not a modernized version of it, but it's like the older brother Jock is still that, but he's dealing with all of the stuff that kids today deal with and not what we did.
Mm-hmm.
All those things. So here, I'm going to read this. Warner Brothers is adding water to its new Gremlins movie, like that, the way they put that, which is next on the slate for the studios alongside a new Goonies movie. Not only that, but Chris Columbus is set to direct the former. The man who helmed the first movie in the Harry Potter films is currently attached to Gremlins 3, according to Deadline. It'll be a sequel rather than a reboot, continuing the story set up in 1984 original and its 1990 sequel, Gremlins 2, The New Batch. The horror comedy, directed by Joe Dante and written by Chris Columbus, follows a boy who receives a strange creature called Gizmo. So that's pretty fantastic. Upon giving on water after midnight, Gizmo spawns into a horde of destructive gremlins. We know all that. That's not new information. The confirmation of Gremlins 3 was tucked away in the outlet's report about Warner Brothers' upcoming films, which reads, franchise hopes to bound down the road of Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, Practical Magic 2, DC's Clayface, and Supergirl, Drew Goddard's incoming script for a new Matrix, a new Gremlins from Chris Columbus, and a Goonies treatment. So they hit it in a lot of information there.
Huh. A new Matrix?
Yeah.
A new Matrix? What?
Yeah. So I'd heard that they were doing a Lord of the Rings Hunt for Gollum that tells more of his story, and it fills in him leaving Moria and venturing out and to try and find the ring. And actually, it's not Moria that he was in the other Mirkwood, not Mirkwood, the mountains. Anyway,
Sure.
yeah, I'm going to get it wrong. People are going to yell at me.
Mordor?
No, it wasn't in that. No. When Bilbo gets the ring from him, he's in the mountain, but it's the Misty Mountains. And it's not in the other. So he's Goblin Town.
Where
Anyway,
what was it, like Gandalf, Calrissian?
I'm going
has
to
to
punch you in the face hole.
Take the ring to.
But yeah, so we knew about that. Clayface and Supergirl. That's kind of interesting. Anyway, in terms of Goonies treatment, it's not clear at this point whether it's a reboot or sequel. It's been 40 years since director Richard Donner's 1985 classic, Caper, which sees a group of kids set out in the quest to find a long-lost pirate's Captain Treasure. The Goonies feature Sean Astin, but we know about that. So it'd be interesting to see how much they get of the original cast. I mean, I know.
Oh, could you imagine if they brought
Feldman's not busy.
They brought Thanos back for that?
Yeah. Yeah. He wasn't short round in that movie, but Pinches of Power. That kid, he's like made a whole resurgence. I could see him.
Oh,
Sean
yeah,
Astin.
absolutely.
I'm trying to.
Absolutely. Did you hear the story about Josh Brolin and the pirate ship?
About where they weren't supposed to turn around and they.
No. Where they built the pirate ship, like full size, it's the 80s.
Yeah.
Everything was practical, full size pirate ship on set, flooded the whole set. And while they're filming, they didn't let any of the kids into that studio at all. Like, no, secret, don't get to see it. So the first time any of them saw the ship, it was caught on camera, first reaction.
Yeah, they wanted to see the first reaction. Absolutely.
First reaction. And they knew that was a plan. And like, they take him out to the middle of the little lake thing, and they're blindfolded. They're like, okay, you're going to dunk your heads underwater, take your blindfolds off, and there's like an underwater signal. That's action. You come up, turn around, and like, first reaction. Like, it's really important. Big thing. You have months going into it. Go to execute the scene. Action. Come out of the water. And I think it was Josh Brolin. First thing out of his mouth. Oh, fuck. Cuts.
Back to one.
First positions, everybody. Yeah. Thanks.
Fucking actors. Anyway. Yeah, I heard about that.
Love it.
So we were going to get to something else, and we didn't get to it because we talked about that, and that's fine. Because that's cool information. Breaking news.
From a week ago.
Yeah.
Like, we're recording on January 21st, and this press announcement has been out
5 days.
5 days. So
That's not bad.
it's basically like a year since any of this information has come to light.
Yeah. And nothing else happened this week
At all.
at all.
Hey, guess happy Martin Luther King Day.
Yes, that was actually something to celebrate. I was really proud to celebrate that on Monday and nothing else. That was an inside joke for Garrick.
Holy shit.
Right? Anyway, so with that, I'm going to say, hey, we love you, Dave Martin.
DemoDavePro.com.
Dramatic pause much? Yeah, anyway, we love you. Thank you for being a part of us. Thank you again for that, for him and Shannon for that brand new opening for this year. That's freaking fantastic. We love it.
I had that song stuck in my head most days now. I used to have it stuck in my head like every other day, but now it's a solid every day.
Yeah.
Did I tell you Maddie plays that all the time?
Yeah.
And like,
And
she'll
told-
just run around. Da, 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 da,
Yeah. And your ex called and was like, "Hey, what's that?
Yeah, what's
She
that?
said,
Nom.
Nom.
Like, I don't burn. Yeah.
Freaking awesome." Anyway, check us out at our website, rumandnerdy.com. That's rumandnerdy.com.
Social medias, we are at Rum and Nerdy, also AND.
And you can email us. Like I previously said, we still need 2 more Ask Rum and Nerdies. Again, if you've sent them in before, don't send any more in. They were either terrible or we have a good suggestion from you. Show at rumandnerdy.com. Please reach out to us with 2 more. Or just say hi, whatever. We'd like to hear from you.
Next person who responds gets a COVID 2020 Operation Clusterfuck badge.
Yeah, because we're down to like 3,000. And
we're gonna go through and we're gonna manually adjust them all to.
I tell you what, we do need new shirts for this year.
2024 Operation Clusterfuck.
We do need new T-shirts for this year.
Okay, well, I
got to figure out something great.
We'll figure out something great.
Yeah. So let us know if you have any ideas for shirts or if you want them. That'll help us decide what we're making. And
if you have any T-shirt ideas, send it to show@rumandnerdy.com.
Yeah, I know that. Anyway, I think that's checking all the boxes. Did we? Is there anything else we say right before we go?
Stay nerdy, my friends.
After months of suspicious losses, the aggrieved parties have joined together against a common enemy. This is the people versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Your Honor, there is concern the media is on their side.
Well, they do have stars.
Nah, I mean, they're literally defended by Chris Collinsworth.
Wow! Look at that no-look pour. I tell ya, this kid's special.
Plaintiff's call, Mr. Justin Herbert.
Game was ours, bro. But it doinked him. I don't understand that.
You blame the Chiefs, but Mr. Likely, what is this white substance by your foot?
I've never seen that before.
Likely's story.
Sup, player?
We were in field goal range. The game was ours to win.
But we didn't, did we?
It was my fault. I fumbled the snap. I did it.
I moved a strike.
Overruled. Not what that means.
Plaintiff's call, the literal devil to the stand. Now, Mr. the Devil, did you or did you not make a deal with the Chiefs?
I ain't never seen these guys in my life.
Dismissed.
Thanks for the Aristicks, Travis. My daughter loved it. Mike, go out for dinner later?
Folks, think back not so long ago. Remember when I was spawned? Is it possible you hate us because you ain't us?
Whoa. How did we miss that?
Objection! The Chiefs, you can't handle the Chiefs!
Order! The jury finds the Chiefs guilty. After further review, that call is overturned. Chiefs win!
And with a high ankle sprain. That's what makes Patrick Mahomes Patrick Mahomes.